What are some things that people come to you and they have their own story, but maybe you help them perfect it? Or what are some things that people can do to perfect that story?
Yeah, great question. So at Ignite, we do a couple of things. We help you write your powerful, what we call Ignite moment. So everybody has an Ignite moment. It's that lifetime moment where you can all remember it changed you, it transformed you, it moved you, it put you on a better trajectory of who you actually are. It made you a greater person. Now, sometimes an Ignite moment knocks you to your knees, smacks you upside the head. It was one of the most difficult things you've ever been through. But over time and in hindsight, you see how your Ignite moment has actually been the best thing that ever happened to you. So we get you to focus on your Ignite moment and how it helped you. Now, I will tell you that you don't always have to tell your ugly, dark, muddy story in regards to your business. You can tell the story of your business evolution. You can tell the story of how you decided to make your business, what drew you to your business, what was the thing that made you want to become an entrepreneur or made you want to be in coaching or training or advertising, or what was it that made you be a part of that specific industry. You can tell stories along the way of what you learned and how you grew and how you evolved. You can tell stories of how you came up with the name of the company, how different people were involved in the company. Some people name their company after their kids, which is what I did with one of my companies. So those stories also really intrigue your customer because they're fascinated with how you think and what is really the basis of where did the company come from. That's a great thing to tell your story. I also encourage you on social media, tell the journey of what you're doing. Don't just try to sell somebody something. Hey, buy this. It's like, we
Yeah.
found out that our customers need this. They're missing this. They're asking for this. They're looking for this. We tried this. We tried to figure it out. Now we found the solution. Here we go. And once again, you see that hero's evolution. People are excited to follow that.
It just absolutely makes sense for sure. And I guess, I think that some people are stuck on, I don't know that my story is interesting enough to tell, but really it doesn't have to be some really hardship that you went through. It could be the stages that your business has gone through and really figuring out how to communicate that in the best way. And I mean, some of the things that I tell people are when you are creating content, like it's just you. I think that the great thing about what you have even said today is like figuring out the structure of how do I communicate that message and make it relatable. I think that some of us can tell our story, but how can you make it relatable? Because we don't always think of how to relate it to what we're doing in business.
That's really great. A lot of times you need to do your customer analysis. Who is your customer? What is your customer doing? Where are they shopping? What are they eating? What are they reading? What are they listening to? What movies are they going to? And then once you really understand who your customer is, what are their problems? What are their questions? What are their angst? What are their suspicions? When you know how your customer thinks and how your customer feels, because I'm all about the emotion. See, the great thing about stories is they actually create an emotion. McDonald's commercials or, like Kleenex or something, they're always trying to perk an emotion. And so you too should be thinking the same way. You want your story to create an emotion. Ultimately, if you're going to take people on a down emotion, you want to bring them back up into a positive emotion. I call it a posinim. Always leave people on a posinim. Things like don't think, you don't have to, never again will you ever have to worry about. Those are all low vibration emotions, low vibration words. Use a positive to get your customers excited. You can always have, you will be from this moment on, these things can happen, you can transpire, you'll change your company. Those sorts of things uplift people. They're more attracted to those sorts of things. So wherever you are in your story, your personal story, your entrepreneurship story, remember that if you're in a dip, always bring people out. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with the dip. You can talk about the struggles of what's happening in the world today. You can talk about the difficulties you're going through, but make sure you give people the solution. Make sure you allow them to see the light at the end of the tunnel.